department come together for this event, for this seminar. Old students, new students, all teachers. Really good to see all of you together. Let us first begin with the prayer. I request Dr. Megha Deshpande to please recite the Saraswati Vandana.
Shri Maharadhi Shriman Simha Saneshwari Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta Devakarya Samudyata Devakarya Samudyata Ravirudra Pitamaha Vishnunutam Harichandana Kumkuma Padayutam Muni Vrunda Gajendra Samanayutam Tava Naumi Saraswati Padayugam Matihina Janashraya Padamidam Sakalagama Bhashita Bhinna Padam Paripurita Vishwa Maneka Bhavam Tava Naumi Saraswati Padayugam Paripurna Manoratha Dharmanidhim Paramartha Vichara Viveka Vidhim Surayoshita Sevita Padatalam Tava Naumi Saraswati Padayugam Gudanaika Kulam Sthiti Bhiti Padam Gudagaurava Garvita Satya Padam Kamalodara Komala Padakalam Tava Naumi Saraswati Padayugam Tava Naumi Saraswati Padayugam Tava Naumi Saraswati Padayugam.
Thank you so much for that. This is really a wonderful start to today's events. Let us now light the auspicious lamp. I request Dr. Shakuntala Gowde, Dr. Vijay Pandey and other dignitaries to please light the I now call upon Dr. Gowde, Head and Assistant Professor, Department of Sanskrit, to please welcome our guest speakers and participants. She will also touch upon the preamble and the report of the department. Namo Namaha. Suprabhatam. Shuklam Brahma Vichara Sara Parama Adyam Jagat Vyapini Veena Pustaka Dharinim Abhayadam Jadyanga Karapaha Haste Sphatikamalikam Vidalati Padmasane Samsthitam Vande Tam Parameshwarim Bhagavati बुद्धि प्रदाम शारदा नमो नमः स्वागतं हार्दं स्वागतम् मुंबई विद्यापीठस्य संस्कृतविभागे हीरकमहोत्सवेऽस्मिन् समुपागतेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः हार्दं स्वागतं व्याहरामि. I welcome you all for this national conference on Ramayana and Ramayana traditions organized as a part of Hiraka Mahotsava of the department. The Department of Sanskrit completed 60 years of its academic journey. And this is a matter of great pride and happiness for all of us. As an academic institutions, we are celebrating this academic year as Shashtyabdi Purti Samaroha with various academic programs like workshops, seminars, lecture series, etc. I will be giving exhaustive report of the Hiraka Mahotsav and also the department in tomorrow's program. So I will just touch upon today. Let me provide just an outline of the Hiraka Mahotsav today. So we are having a one-day national seminar on Ramayana and Ramayana traditions, then a symposium on Sanskrit studies in Maharashtra, past, present and future. So initially we had a thought that why not we organize something like Mumbai's contribution to Sanskrit studies. But then we expanded the field and then we are having a symposium on Sanskrit studies in Maharashtra because we are completing 60 years. So let us ponder upon what is the contribution of Maharashtra and what we can do in the future. So that is the point here. Then we will be having two cultural programs tomorrow by our esteemed alumni, a drama, Pratima by Dr. Prasad Phire and a dance on Ramayana by Dr. Sri Ramayana. I welcome our chief guest and keynote speaker for today's seminar, Professor Vijay Pandya. He is a former professor of Sanskrit in University of Gujarat and many very important thing is he is an alumni of our department. And he is the oldest student of our department. And he was so thrilled to hear the news that we are celebrating Diamond Jubilee program of the department. He has shared so many memories about the department, about the professors who are associated with the department for so many years during our conversation. His excitement was so much so that he used to inquire that when we are having the grand function and when I can come here to be, and visit the department and meet all the colleagues and co-workers, students, and the day has arrived. We all are here together. So national seminar is definitely an occasion, academic occasion, but it is really a get-together of all our senior professors, alumni, students, and I think that, I hope that all will cherish the old memories about the department during our conversation. So I heartily welcome you, sir, Professor Vijay Pandya, and I appreciate your enthusiasm even at this age. We are very eager to hear your speech, keynote speech. I welcome our senior professors, Dr. Siddharth Vakankar, Dr. Gauri Mahundikar, Dr. Uma Vaidya, though she is not present here, Dr. Urmi Shaha, Dr. Veena Lunde, Dr. Parinita Deshpande, whom we consider very much a part of the department. We are fortunate to have such an alumni and senior professors associated with the department. I would like to mention also here Professor Sindhu Dange, Professor Alka Bakre, Dr. Uma Vaidya. Even though they are not present here today, their blessings and best wishes are always with us. They often call us, guide us, give their feedbacks and suggestions time to time, and therefore we are able to proceed with the same enthusiasm even further. I also would like to mention our former professors, heads, Professor H.D. Verenkar, who was founder professor of the department, Professor Sadashiv Dange, Professor T.G. Mainkar, Professor M.D. Paradkar, Dr. Usha Bhise, who created really a rich legacy of the department, and therefore we exist. When planning for this seminar and Hiraka Mahotsav, there was one thought in the mind, that all our professors and alumni should come together. So I welcome this gathering, all our senior professors, visiting faculty, students and alumni who have come here with a love for the department. So as I said earlier, national seminar is just an occasion, but I feel it's a great get together for all our former professors, alumni, to share their old memories associated with the department. So let me now present the concept note of the seminar, the preamble of the seminar. So national seminar is on Ramayana and Ramayana tradition. This seminar we are organizing in collaboration with Bhakti Vedanta Research Center, Mumbai. Ramayana is a popular epic in India, South Asian countries and beyond. Valmiki Ramayana has inspired literature, society, culture and arts. Throughout centuries in India, authors and performers have retold Ramayana in a diversified manner. Retellings of Ramayana are found in almost every region, which has given rise to many regional traditions of Ramayana. Though all authors follow the structure of Valmiki's Ramayana, they differ in social context, environment, local traditions, literary genre, etc. The narrative approach of each storyteller is different. Transmission is happening without any boundaries of geography, religion and philosophy. Hundreds of retellings of Ramayana are continued till the date. Sanskrit Ramayana, namely Adbhuta Ramayana. Sanskrit Ramayanas are there like Ananda Ramayana, Adhyatma Ramayana, Vishundi Ramayana, Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. They have displayed a diversity in perspective of narration. Ramacharitmanas in Hindi, Bhavartha Ramayana in Marathi, Kruttivasi Ramayana in Bengali, Kamba Ramayana in Tamil, Ranganatha Ramayana in Telugu, Giridhar Ramayana in Gujarati are diverse in their narrations. We witness numerous tribal versions of Ramayana among Bhils, Mundas, Santhals, Gons, Sauras, Korpus, Rabhas, Bodo, Khasis, Mizos, Metis, etc. Versions popular in Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Burma, Cambodia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Bali, Myanmar and Sri Lanka have finely molded Ramakatha in their cultural framework. Ramakatha is pervasive in the oral tradition as well. It appears in a multiplicity of forms and artistic expressions. It appears at the level of rituals and festivals, as ballad singing, drama, dance drama, opera, play, shadow puppets and contemporary modern stage. This seminar aims to explore such diverse traditions of Ramayana, highlighting and analyzing their unique socio-cultural, literary and philosophical characteristics. So we have different sub-themes: critical edition of Valmiki Ramayana, regional traditions of Ramayana, Ramayana in arts and influence of Ramayana on various literary genres and various languages also. So this is the preamble of the seminar, and esteemed scholars and our professors will present their papers in this seminar. So I hope this will be definitely intellectual feast to all of you. I welcome all of you once again and also invite all of you for tomorrow's program. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Gowde. This promises to be a really amazing seminar. The lineup of topics is very interesting and more so the speakers. So now it is time to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Vijay Pandey. I would like to request Dr. Madhu Nasai, Associate Professor, Department of Sanskrit, please introduce our chief guest. Namo Namaha. It is a proud privilege to introduce Professor Dr. Vijay Pandya, who is a Sanskrit scholar from Gujarat, and we are proud to say that he is the alumni of our esteemed department.
At MA level, he got the S.R. Bhandarkar Prize and Dakshina Fellowship. So you can see that his career graph from the studenthood is actually moving ahead at a very higher speed. So he got his PhD from the Gujarat University, and his thesis was entitled The Vishayavakyas of the Brahma Sutra. He retired as a professor from the Department of Sanskrit, School of Languages, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. He has worked as a professor for almost 50 odd years, and 15 students have achieved their PhD, and 30 students have achieved their MPhil degree under his guidance. He has written and edited and translated more than 65 books. So when we had his felicitation volume during COVID period, at that time it was released, so I had the opportunity of referring to his translation on Karnabhara of Bas, and it's a unique kind of a translation, not that word to word, but at the same time conveying the exact meaning of what the original author wants to say. So you can understand the depth of his scholarship from this. So he has also written books on fundamental Vedanta and textual criticism published by the Parimal Publications, Delhi. His areas of interest were Vedanta, Upanishads, classical Sanskrit literature, Valmiki Ramayana, Alankar Shastra and Indology. And he has written a small booklet on the noted Indologist Max Muller in Gujarati, which has become a pioneering work in Gujarati. So, see, scholars may restrict just to English, but we find that as a scholar, English is his domain, of course, but at the same time he is writing a lot of literary work in regional languages, which is also a must-do by scholars. He has completed the translation of the critical edition of the Valmiki Ramayana, consisting of 18,766 verses in Gujarati. In all the regional languages, Gujarati is the only language which has the complete translation of the critical edition. Further, the entire world, English is the only language in addition to Gujarati that has completed the translation of the critical edition of the Valmiki Ramayana. Sundar Kanda and Ayodhya Kanda have already been published. His major research finding is that the Hanuman Natakam, running in 14 acts and having about 600 verses, was composed in Gujarati post-Dutangaya play in near about 13th century AD, and pre-Giridhara Ramayana, a Ramayana in Gujarati on the 18th century AD, apart from several research articles. He is a well-decorated scholar. So he has been awarded in 2010 the President of India Certificate of Merit, the highest award of the country in the field of Sanskrit learning. He was also awarded the highest award of Gujarat State Sanskrit Sahitya Akademi Puraskar, and Uttar Pradesh government has also felicitated him with the Vishishta Puraskar with the Tamrapatra shawl at the hands of Shri Akhilesh Yadav, the then Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. He has been awarded the gold medal and rupees 1 lakh from Shri Somnath Ahmedabad Somnath University Trust at Somnath Mandir, Verawal, Gujarat. So he has been awarded the Hemachandracharya award, which is one of the prestigious awards of Gujarat, taking into account his works on the critical edition of the Valmiki Ramayana. At present, 3 khandas have been published, namely the Balakanda, Ayodhya Kanda and Sundar Kanda, with a comprehensive introduction and translation into Gujarati for the first time in any regional languages. Of course, great scholar, he has attended and chaired number of sessions in conferences and seminars, and so he is busy still guiding PhD students and young scholars and the young team of professors which are there in Gujarat, and also he is also serving as a guiding light for us. So with these words, I request Professor Dr. Vijay Pandya to begin the keynote address of this seminar.
This is my Guru Bhumi. Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasya ete kratitha hariyantaha prakasante mahatmana prakasante mahatmana. Sri Ramachandra charanau manasa smarami Sri Ramachandra charanau vachasa grunami Sri Ramachandra charanau Shirasa namami Sri Ramachandra Charanam Saranam Prapadya. This is my Matru Bhumi also. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Matru Rupena Matru Samstha Rupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. My obeisance to my Matru Samstha. Whatever I am today, that is because of this great institution, alma mater, my alma mater, University of Mumbai, Department of Sanskrit. My pranamas to my gurus of yesteryears from 60. Many of you may not have been born also at that time. From 60 to 66, those gurus I offer my pranamas. Ismail Institute College, as well as from 64 to 66, this department. So my pranamas, and my pranamas also to the present professors. I know that you will not, you will be very much hesitant to accept my pranamas, but you are the embodiment of those gurus of those days. That is why I offer my pranama to Shakuntalaji, Madhviji, Suchitraji, and many others. Respected Professor, Doctor and Head of the Department of Sanskrit, Shakuntalaji, respected Professor Dr. Madhviji, Professor Dr. Suchitraji, respected Professor Dr. Gauriji. It was she who revived my relations with this department, with this university. For the first time, she invited me for some conference, and I presented a paper, and then I think she edited also the papers. So it was she. Otherwise, my relations with this samstha, with this department, were in a state of hibernation. But she revived, and then, of course, it is to the eternal credit of Madhviji that she nurtured those relations. She continued to inviting me, and that is why today I am here before you. So, Gauriji, I can never forget that. You remember that. Always keep in mind. Then Professor, very respected former Vice Chancellor Uma Vaidyaji, of course she is not here now. Respected Madam Sindhu Dangeji, my pranam to her. My friend and former Deputy Director Siddharth Vakankar, he is here. I am very happy. My younger friend Dr. Professor Urmi Shah, she is younger, I am young. I always tell my students that my younger friends, in this way I always address my students. Younger, implying that I am young. Comparative degree, second way. And moreover, one more information about her also. That she is my Satirthya also. That late Professor Kshir Sagar taught both of us at different times. Kshir Sagar taught me in Ismail Yusuf College, and she was taught in Elphinstone College by Professor Kshir Sagar. he is no one. Respected Dr. Parinita ji, Dr. Shilpa ji, Dr. Yojana Bhagat ji, Dr. Medha ji, Dr. Prasad Bhide ji, I have not personally met him. My friend and director of PG Center of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Professor Girish Jani. See, always what happens that I never knew that there will be so big audience here. Really, it's a historical day, an historical moment that so many people are there. But I thought that as usual in Sanskrit functions, very few people are there. So I always manage my own audience. So I bring so I bring my audience also along with me. So there are my friends here from Mumbai, from here. So Kirti Shah, he is a very good organizer, always organizes the literary functions. Mukesh Vaidya, he is a poet. Mukesh Trivedi, I don't know whether he has come. He is a CA. My ancient friend and ex-principal of Dave High School, Sri Jitendra Dave, and his wife, my Bhabi, I call him his Vahini, Professor Kalpana Dave, and Professor Joshi is here, Satish Chandra Joshi. As I am the oldest, Shakuntalji, as I am the oldest student of this university available to you, there might be, but I am available due to the grace of God, that I have survived and I am here. Similarly, my oldest student is here, Vijay, my namesake. He is my namesake. Vijay is also here. I taught him when he was in the 7th standard. I was offering private tuitions to him. He is here. So Vijay. And one more thing you would like to know, that Professor Hemant Shah, ex-principal of our Ahmedabad's very reputed college, HK Arts College, he has come all the way from Ahmedabad to attend this seminar. Professor Principal Hemant Shah, please stand up. Hemant, his subject is economics, but he has come to attend this seminar. So this is like reciting the Vishnu Sahasranam. And Sahasranam will be exhausted, but you are always there with me. So this is like the Professor Natko Joshi is very senior professor here. He also my good old friend, and many of the luminaries are here. Many of them I know, but I have forgotten their names also. But I apologize for some omissions if I have committed. So now I am coming to the. Yes, that is a good thing. At least somebody is older in this audience. Before speaking, when I look at the galaxy of veteran Sanskrit scholars sitting before me, I am reduced to the state of Arjuna of the Bhagavad Gita. Siddhanti mama gatani mukham cha parishusyati vyaputusya srireme romahansasya jayate gandivam samsade rastat pakachaiva paridayate. So this is my position. So I would again sip water. Theme of the seminar is Ramayana and Ramayana tradition. And subject which I have given in the abstracts you will find with Valmiki Ramayana. This is the title of my abstract of my paper. With Valmiki Ramayana, the ultimate precedent, the multiplicity of the Ramayanas is an adornment and not a blemish. Bhushanam, natu dushanam. This is the title of my paper. I will touch some points. So, when I start my speech here, see, I perform Mangala. Mangala was this, that Sri Ramachandra Charanam Manasa Smarami. Now you will find that Sri Ramachandra, the word, is not there in the critical edition. This is the thing. So I was thinking in my mind that I subscribe to this view that Valmiki portrayed Rama as a human being and not as a divinity or a divine being. So when I try to banish him from the critical edition as a god, I ultimately again I seek apologies from him that I am sorry that I have to do this thing. And then of course Rama is a votary of truth, and in the Valmiki Ramayana you will find that Satya, the word Satya is often used, employed for Rama. When Rama is going to the forest, he speaks Satyam Bruniya, I choose the truth. See what words, glorious words. Then he says, Ramo Dvir na abhivasate. Rama never goes back on his words. So he is a great votary of truth, and that is why he will pardon me this my insolence that I try to banish him from the critical edition which my friend Siddharth Bhaktankar had brought out, I mean his institute. So I do this, this is a contradiction. Rama is my Ishtadev, and in the critical edition, whenever there is a depiction of divine Rama, then it is a prakshipta, it is an interpolation. In this way you always say. But in the Valmiki Ramayana, Rama is very human and very humane also. And Valmiki has delineated Rama mostly as a human being. There are many places in the Valmiki Ramayana where Rama is portrayed as a human being. We may observe that when Rama loves, now to generalize, because there are so many instances where Rama is portrayed as a human being, intensely human being. So, just to pick up one place, we may observe that when Rama loves, when Rama is a loving person, when he loves Sita, he is most human. This is a sort of observation. He is intensely human when he loves Sita, when he remembers Sita, when he remembers some loving moments of their life. He is very intensely human. One passage I would cite from the Valmiki Ramayana. In the Yuddha Kanda, this passage occurs. The passage depicting Rama's love comes at the most unexpected place. You never expect that such a passage would come here in the Yuddha Kanda. But that is the art of Valmiki. The context is like this. Once the army had made camp on the shore of the ocean, Rama, seeing Lakshmana beside him, said, "O Lakshmana," they say Rama is addressing Lakshmana. "O Lakshmana," they say that grief diminishes with the passage of time, but bereft as I am of the sight of my beloved, mine only increases day by day. Shokasya kila kalena gacchata hi apagacchati mama cha apasyatah kantam ahani vartate. See, Ram remembers Sita. I do not suffer because my beloved is so far away, nor even because she has been abducted. This alone is the source of all my grief. Her youth is sleeping away. Ye dukham, name dukham priya dure, name dukham hrute vicha, etadeva anusochami, vayo asya hi ativartate. See, Ram is so human here. He is not worried about himself, he is worried about Sita. That Sita's youth is sleeping away. Then this verse, glorious verse. Vahi vata yata kanta tam spruštva mam api sprusha tvai me gatra sansparsha chandre drushti samagama. O breeze, blow where my beloved stays. Touch her and then touch me. Rama says, touch her. First touch her and then you touch me. For the touching of our limbs now depends on you, that is the breeze. As on the moon depends the meeting of our glances. Drashtihi chandre drushtihi samagamaha. I often say this is my theory also about the Valmiki Ramayana. That creative space, Valmiki has left maximum creative space in his work. So, Chandre Drushtihi Samagamaha. At some other time, when they were together, they must have talked to each other and they must have decided that suppose by some fate, cruel fate, if we are separated, then you look at the moon and I will also look at the moon, and these all things you can imagine. This is the creative space. This creative space, somebody can make out a very good drama out of this, Ram and Sita, because this book, Valmiki has not portrayed this, but he has left to the imagination of the reader or the listener. So this is a wonderful phrase, Chandre Drushti Samagama. When Sita was looking at the moon and Rama is also looking at the moon, they are meeting there. Wow. So here Sanskrit Sahitya Rasik would be reminded of Kalidasa's words in the Meghdutta. Vahi yavata yata kanta. See, Alingyante Gunavati Maya, many of you would be reminded of that verse from the Meghdutta. Alingyante Gunavati Maya te tusaradhi vataha purvam sprushtam yedikila bhavet angam ebi taveti. This is Kalidasa. But see, Kalidas was also under the influence of Valmiki so much that he has verbally taken these words from Valmiki. Such a great original man, Kalidasa, but even he was also under the great influence of Valmiki. O Parag, that is by Kalidasa. Then the last verse of this passage. Due to lack of time, I skip many of the things. Tau tasyaha. This is a wonderful verse, I tell you. He is so human. My point is, I am making the point of Rama being a human in Valmiki Ramayana. Tau tasyaha sauhatau pinau stanau tala phalopamau. Again, tau tasyaha, dvivachana stana. Tau tasyaha sauhatau pinau stanau tala phalopamau. Kadanu khalu sotkampau sa utkampau asantya mam vajishyata. Rama says, and when will her full and close set breast, so like the ripe palm of fruit, be pressed against me, shaking as she laughs. What a verse. See Valmiki, how he has depicted the erotic sentiment. This is the most beautiful erotic poetry ever written by any poet. When Rama is intensely embracing Sita, Sita laughs and her breast shakes. Sita is also so playful and all grossness and voluptuousness vanishes in the act. Sita laughs when Rama is embracing tight, she is giving a tight embrace to Sita, and Sita is laughing, and at the while laughing, her breasts are also shaking. Rama is giving a tight embrace to Sita, and Sita laughing so boisterously that her protuberant breasts are throbbing. Even Kalidasa, well known for his penchant for eroticism, would envy such poetically erotic verse. This line is very significant. So Valmiki has portrayed Rama as a human being like you and me, doubts assail him. He is also subject to agony and ecstasy. Dasharatha has called Rama to the assembly of kings and informs him about the assembly's decision to coronate him as a prince designate. Rama goes back to his palace. Meanwhile, Dasharatha remembers that some instruction about the coronation ritual to be conveyed to Rama. So again Sumanta is sent to call him back. At that time Valmiki writes, Sumanta has gone there, he has told Rama that king is calling you. Valmiki writes, Ramaha Shankanvito abhavat. Rama was doubtful. Why should he be doubtful? What doubts he should have? But Valmiki says, this is creative space. This is creative space of Valmiki. Many things remain untold, undepicted. Further, in the Ayodhya Kanda, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana are seated in the chariot to go to the forest. They are ready to go. They are seated. Sumanta is about to drive the chariot and Dasharatha is at the outer gate of the palace. Dasharatha has already come at the outer gate of the palace and chariot is seen. In the chariot, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana are seen seated, and then Dasharatha shouts, king shouts aloud, Tishtha, halt. He orders Sumanta to halt the chariot. At the time Rama, see, this is the moment of Rama. This Rama we have not known. This Rama we have forgotten. Rama says to Sumanta, Yahi, Yahi. Dasharatha says, halt, Tishtha. Rama says, Yahi, drive away, proceed. Sumanta is in a dilemma, whom to obey? One side Dasharatha is ordering him, he is the boss, ultimate boss. He was a designate prince, but he is not designated prince now. And even then he should obey, of course, Rama. So Rama understands the dilemma of Sumanta and he tells, when you return, see, this is the, Valmiki does not say in so many words, and mind well, I am explaining. Creative space I am filling up. I am filling up the creative space. So when you return, Rama says to Sumanta, when you return, if you are reprimanded by the king, क्यों सुना नहीं क्या हुआ है नौकरी करनी है कि नहीं करनी है ऐसा अगर if he says to you like this, then you tell him, see Rama says this, you tell him, na aham asrausham. See, what a moment. This Rama says to Sumanta, I did not hear you. And then, Mitra, further one more glorious moment in Rama's character comes. Then he adds one line. This is a universal line. Chiram dukhasya papishtham. Prolonged agony is the worst sin. Chiram dukhasya papishtham. What a line. See, this is in Sanskrit. This is the Sanskrit. This is the original Ramayana. This is Valmiki Ramayana. Nobody can excel Valmiki, I tell you. This is my challenge. Nobody can excel. Even the Sanskrit scholars, Sanskrit poets are very original, very powerful, but even then Valmiki stands above them all. So this is Rama, Valmiki's portrait, and that we have forgotten. There are many such instances, but I am not quoting. Only one place I would refer to, and then I would go to other topic. The Sarga 47 of the Ayodhya Kanda, friends, do refer to that Sarga. 47 of the Ayodhya Kanda is a crowning glory of Rama as a human being. In the Sarga Canto 47, Rama is utmost human being. See, the situation is like this. 2 nights have passed. One night they spent at the bank of the Tamsa river. There the people of Ayodhya were also with him. Then second night they spent at the bank of the Ganga river. There also Sumanta was there. Now they have crossed Ganga and now Sumanta is sent back. Now these 3 people are alone. Rama, Sita and Lakshmana. Sandhyakal is there. Dark shadows are descending. They are sitting under a tree. And then Rama starts speaking. See what he speaks. We have seen Rama just before some days, few days. Rama Dvirna Vibhasate, the glow was there on his face. I have seen that glow on his face. And now, see Rama, this is also Rama. This is also human Rama. See, he starts speaking. And within no time, he starts bewailing. He starts lamenting. Rama is very much disappointed with his father. What he speaks, I am giving you a gist of it. Rama is very much disappointed with his father and calls him Kamatma. This is Rama's word. I am quoting ad verbatim from Valmiki Ramayana. Kamatma. Rama calls Dasratha Kamatma. He is a Kamatma. He is worried about the well-being of his mothers, Kausalya and Sumitra. He says that he was the most beautiful son to his father, and yet he is banished to the forest. Rama goes to the extent of telling Lakshmana to go back to Ayodhya. You go back, so that their mothers could be protected from Kaikeyi and Bharata. See, he adds the name of Bharat also. This is the thing. This is Rama. This is human Rama. Then of course, he starts weeping. In Gujarati, I have written an article this, and in Gujarati, these streams of tears are on his face. Then they are evaporated, and their lines of that tears will be left on the face of Rama, and that you can observe in the dim light of the evening. This is the picture I have seen. I have seen Rama in that light, in the 47th Sarga. So this is human Rama. So this is one point I wanted to make. So the theme of the, the theme of the national seminar is Ramayana and Ramayana tradition. It is a very vast subject, but I congratulate the team to give this subject to the seminar. It is almost impossible to do justice to the theme in one lecture or even in one seminar also. So Shakuntalaji, you can have some more seminars. However, my lecture would be brief, like that of a popular ladies' dress miniskirt of bygone era. That dress will be brief, but covering important points. Similarly, my lecture also will be brief, but covering all the important points which Shakuntalaji has designated. So, some points, very important points, friends. I am a sort of, in my abstract, you must have observed, I don't know whether you have the abstracts with you, but you must have observed that it is polemics, it is controversial. I have written in a fighting mood. That for abstract, that point I will touch now. Tradition or parampara, as my younger friend Urubin would prefer. As Tulsidas has sang, Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. So tradition is also countless, but tradition should be distinguished from the individual expression of the narrative of Ramakatha. Individual expression is different from the tradition. We often mistake and confuse the tradition with the individual expression of their creativity. To illustrate, Meghnad Badha of Kavya, 1861 it was composed, Joshi said, Meghnad Badha, by Michael Madhusudan Datta. This Kavya also should be regarded as an individual manifestation of the creativity of the person concerned. One passage from the Meghnad Badha, translated into English, I am going to quote here. To quote, I quote, after bathing in waters of the sea, those Rakshasas now headed back toward Lanka. Wet still with water of their grief, it was as if they had immersed the image of goddess on the lunar 10th day of the Durga Puja. The Lanka wept in sorrow 7 days and 7 nights, I unquote. This Meghnad Badha equated Ravana's grief on his son Meghnada's death with that of the Visarjan, immersion of Durga idols on the Vijayadashmi. Vijayadashmi in Bengal is not a day of celebration. It is a day of grief, mourning. So this depiction by this Michael Madhusudan Datta cannot be taken as a Ramayana tradition. This is my point. It should be regarded as an individual expression. This Meghnad Badha was both appreciated and criticized in Bengal. In one of the narratives of Ramakatha by a writer from Bengal, Lakshmana is unconscious and brought to Rama. Monkeys are also grief stricken and cry, but while crying they eat bananas also. That writer has shown it like that. My point is such irreverence. I think maybe it may be my personal opinion, but such irreverence has no place, should not find a place in the Ramakatha narrative. Recently, friends, a very disturbing incident has taken place in India, in our country. Very disturbing. I am very much disturbed by that. You must have read it in the newspaper. That if I have two minds whether I should tell this news here or not, but let me tell you. Where else I can tell them? It was so a pair of lions, lion and lioness, was brought from Tripura to Siliguri Zoo. From Tripura to Siliguri, and then the name was given by that Siddhant, by that zoo officer. Lioness was given the name of Sita, and lion's name was given Akbar. Akbar and Sita. It has disturbed me so much. Of course, there then some Vishwa Hindu Parishad took up the case, and then they went to the High Court and they fought, and then ultimately the High Court also gave the judgment in removing these names. But this is the irreverent attitude towards our idols. Even that man also is they. I don't create they and we. It is not like that. But this is the attitude. This attitude should not have a place. That is my point. And this has percolated in our Ramayana studies also. Not to this extent. This is a very gross instance which I have narrated to you. But in our academic circles also, such attitude pervades. So, tradition, what is the pure tradition? Which can be called the pure tradition? See, parampara. Mithila, take the instance of the Mithila Nagari. In Mithila, Rama is regarded as the son-in-law of Mithila, even now. This is the parampara, this is the tradition. For the whole world, Rama is God, a divine figure. But for Mithila people, he is the most beloved Pahun, son-in-law. Women of Mithila would shower upon Rama sweet abuses. We call in Gujarati Patana. They would shower on Rama abuses. Oh, you are like that, you don't have anything like that. Janiya Bada Sabu, like that. For the people of Mithila, Dasrat is a Sandhi. And some elderly people from Mithila would not drink water in Ayodhya because that is their daughter's place. For when Ramayana is so much reality for them, this is the tradition, this is the parampara. In one more instance, which may shock us, in Gonda Ramayani, that is in the region of Chota Nagpur, according to the tradition prevalent in that region, Lakshmana is made to undergo an ordeal of fire to prove that he was not infatuated with Sita. That is their tradition. But see, all this thing we can very well imagine and visualize that this is all in the story of Valmiki Ram. Valmiki Ram Katha mein sampai. You can always develop, but keeping in view, keeping in consonance with the prevalent sentiment of the people of the country. Such instances of tradition are also galore, and we did not cite any more such instances. There should not be any shred of doubt that there are many Ramayanas. I am not going to quote all the Ramayanas, that she has done very well, Professor Shakuntala. And I need not count them before this enlightened audience. However, the individual Ramayanas are also aware of the multiple Ramayanas. To bring home, this is a very famous instance, maybe a repetition for you, but I would cite here because it has got the relevance. I would narrate the one episode from the Adhyatma Ramayana. That how the Ramayana is also aware of the other Ramayanas. One Ramayana is aware of the previous Ramayanas, and accordingly the writer of that Ramayana would depict. See, in Adhyatma Ramayana this incident goes like this. Rama is preparing to go to the forest. Sita wants to accompany him to the forest. Rama is reluctant to take her along with him on account of the hardship of forest life. Sita argues and argues, but Rama is adamant. Ultimately, Sita loses patience, as usual. Patience, and bursts out. She bursts out. She says, I quote, innumerable Ramayanas have been composed before also. And do you know of a single Ramayana in which Sita does not go with Rama to the forest? See, that means that there are many Ramayanas, so it is like, and this clinched the argument. Rama then is ready. Oh, no Ramayana is gone, no Rama has gone to the forest without Sita. One more instance. That is interesting, that's why I am telling you. Because otherwise, where I will be able to speak. See, there is one story. This is oral story because I have to give justice to the oral tradition also. That's why I have taken this story from oral tradition. From the oral tradition. One day, Rama was sitting on his throne, and his ring fell down from his finger, piercing the earth. it disappeared into it. As always, Hanuman was there at his beck and call. Hanuman was asked to bring back the ring. Hanuman, assuming the smallest form, went inside the earth. He went and went and went. He went to the netherworld. There were women there where Hanuman reached. They were so surprised to see a monkey and took Hanuman with them and placed him on a platter and presented him to the king of the netherworld. Meanwhile, all the time, Hanuman was a part of the king's dinner. Hanuman became a part of the king's dinner. Hanuman was muttering the name of Rama meanwhile. The king of netherworld saw Hanuman and asked him what was he doing there. Hanuman introduced himself to the king and said that he had come to take the fallen ring back. The king showed him a platter there by the side, in which there were thousands of rings. The king said, all these rings belong to Rama's. He asked Hanuman to pick up his Rama's ring. This is the oral tradition. It is a book, his Rama's ring. Of course, Hanuman couldn't pick up the specified ring. Then that Bhutnath, that is the name of the king, he said that whenever all things were of Rama, the king said to Hanuman, there have been as many Ramas as there are rings here on the platter. When you return to the altar, you would not find your Rama. This incarnation of Rama is now over. Whenever an incarnation of Rama is about to be over, his ring falls down. I collect them and keep them here. You take. See, so many Ramas and so many Ramayanas, and so my ultimate point is, in spite of all this multiplicity, it is an eternal credit to the Valmiki Ramayana that there is so much multiplicity. So as I told you, it is multiplicity is a cause of celebration and it is not a blemish. But in some academic circle, this is regarded as a blemish. That blemish is that Valmiki, some academicians are there who want to deprive Valmiki of the primacy of his status. They don't want to describe Valmiki Ramayana as a written document. They don't want to say other Ramayanas as Ramayanas, as versions. They avoid the word version also, because version presupposes the fixed written text. Whenever you use the word version presupposes a written text. So these people, these academicians, don't want to give that honor to the Valmiki Ramayana as a fixed text. So that's why they use the word tellings. Tellings. Even Valmiki Ramayana also they call it as telling. Telling and retellings. Other Ramayanas may be retellings, but Valmiki Ramayana is a telling and not a written document. So they do not want to accept the primacy of Valmiki Ramayana. This is also a very disturbing trend for me, and that is why I say that there are so many Ramayanas, so many narratives, so many differences, so many variations, all these are there. But ultimately my point is, for example, I do accept that Valmiki Ramayana also may have the versions, may have the tellings prevalent in his time. Because Rama has become a myth. During Valmiki's time, Rama must have become a myth. And around that name Rama also there might be many stories. And Valmiki came on the scene, and Valmiki edited those stories and gave us the world, the Valmiki Ramayana, a beautiful poem. Okay. So Valmiki Ramayana also must have absorbed such tellings prevalent in his days. But now nothing should precede and nothing precedes Valmiki Ramayana. Valmiki Ramayana is the ultimate precedent. So whenever suppose if you want to study or discuss some tellings, for example Kamba Ramayana and Bhavartha Ramayana, if you want to compare and contrast, then with what Ramayana you would compare? Chronologically, Valmiki Ramayana stands supreme. But they want to belittle the significance, the great significance of the Valmiki Ramayana. So that is why there was a huge controversy in 2011, 2008 to 2011, and one madam, lady, scholar, she is a very good scholar, I have high respect for her. She has brought out 2 volumes to prove that Valmiki Ramayana is a telling. It is a telling, worthy telling. And they don't want to be, that's why one book named is Many Ramayanas. The other one is Questioning Ramayanas. This is Paula Richman. Paula Richman is there. She has edited these 2 volumes. Apart from this controversy, those articles are very nice, very fascinating, very interesting. But if you keep in mind this view that they are writing this because to belittle the importance of Valmiki Ramayana, then I totally disagree with them. So this is also another factor, that multiplicity of Ramayanas is for them is a ruse, bahana, is a ruse to deny the importance to the Valmiki Ramayana. This should be resisted. I resist it. This should be resisted. That Valmiki Ramayana stands supreme, nothing can precede him, nothing can, and our tradition is very clear. Tradition is very unerring. Adi Kavya, Adi Kavi, Jate Jagati Valmiko, Kavihi Iti Abhida Bhavat. Tradition is very clear. So that is why foremost Valmiki Ramayana stands supreme. So this is I am explaining the title of my, and then I say that we have not yet, critical edition, about critical edition he is going to speak, Dr. Siddharth. So critical edition is a great thing, and I am very sorry that we don't pay as much attention to this critical edition, which is a great contribution of Gujarat to the Sanskrit world of Sanskrit world. As BORA, Bhandarkar Research Institute, has contributed the critical edition of the Mahabharata. It's a great contribution to the world. Mahabharata's critical edition is also a wonderful thing. And similarly, Valmiki Ramayana's critical edition is also a great contribution of Gujarat to the world. And we should not swear at critical edition. We should swear by critical edition. We should buy critical. We should swear by. So critical edition, as friends, you know that I am translated the whole of the critical edition, and I provokingly say, deliberately say, to provoke you, that only in Gujarati the critical edition has been translated. Even scholarly people like Maharashtrians have not been able to achieve this feat. I provoke you, Shakuntaji, Madhuri and Sachitaji, and all the Maharashtrian scholars, because these Maharashtrians are famous for their scholarly works. And still Marathi, in the Marathi language, this critical edition has not been translated. It is a woeful thing. Moreover, one more thing, Sakuntalaji. Anand Ramayana is a wonderful Ramayana. Anand Ramayana. We can have a seminar on different Sanskrit Ramayanas. We have not yet known the Sanskrit Ramayana. Anand Ramayana is a wonderful Ramayana. Adbhut Ramayana. There is Adbhut Ramayana also. And there are so many other Sanskrit Ramayana. Sanskrit tradition was also there. So department can undertake this Anand Ramayana. This is particularly from Maharashtra. Anand Ramayana. It is 14th, 15th century Ramayana. But wonderful Ramayana. So the critical edition, only in Gujarati I have translated, completed the translation, and and 3 volumes, Balkand, Ayodhya-kand and Sundarkand have been already published. In this year, I wish to bring, I am sure that Aranya-kand and Kishkinnah-kand would be out, and then still there remain 2 more. Yuddha-kand. Yuddha-kand is a very big kand, 4,000 verses. But I have already applied to the God to give me an extension. That please extend my life some years more so that I can complete those. This year, Aranya-kand and Kishkinnah-kand will be out. So the thing is, apart from all these theories and all these polemics, Ramayana is a great artistic work. It is Mahati Kruti. It's a great artistic work. So we have not yet explored the art of Valmiki. That exploration, see, in the beginning I referred to the human Rama, but you may ask me that what is it in the critical edition and in the Valmiki Ramayana? Is Rama portrayed as a human being only? No, it is not like that. I said of course like this, but along with his humanity, there is a divinity also. But that thing is very artistically done. That is the art of Valmiki. That we have not been able to gauge yet. We are great scholars, but when the question of art comes, we sometimes fail to do justice to the artistic work. That is my point. So it is a great artistic work. One instance I would say, and then my speech would be over. See how interplay of divinity and humanity plays Valmiki. Valmiki plays the interplay of humanity and divinity. Rama, they are on the visiting spree. They are on the visiting spree of the ashramas. Rama is going to Sarbanga's ashrama. There is some distance they are there, and then Rama, Sita and Lakshman, they are about to approach Sarbanga ashrama. And there Rama saw a very strange spectacle. In the sky, in the Antariksha, there was a chariot, and there was a very impressive personality, and he could make out that he was Indra. And with Indra also there were other people, they were dancing and all that. Festival was going on. They all know Indra had come to meet Sarbanga. Then Rama said to Sita and Lakshmana, you stay here, I will just make it sure that whether Indra is there or not. So he proceeds further. And then Indra saw Rama coming. That Indra told the other devas who were accompanying him that, see, that man, Rama is coming. I don't want to talk to him. Before he comes and talks to me, I would like to go away, so let us go away from here. Why does he do like this? This is Valmiki's art, Gauriman. This is Valmiki's art. Because if he comes near and Indra has to meet him and address him, then he has to maintain the protocol. He knows that Rama is an avatar incarnation of the God. So he has to maintain the protocol. But if he is revealed as an incarnation of God, as a divinity, Joshi said, as a divinity, then that condition of Ravana's boon would not be fulfilled. Because only man can kill Ravana. So Valmiki so subtly plays this thing that art also we have not been able to decipher. That is why he said that he goes away from there. There are so many places. And moreover, I may tell you one more thing also in very brief. The structural beauty of the Valmiki Ramayana, Ramakatha, is such a simple story. But that is not so simple as we may find, as we may think. Structure of the whole Ramayana story is wonderful, it is very difficult. You see. So, to take that point further, that at the end, when Rama, Sita, the ordeal has passed, Sita has passed the ordeal, and then the host of gods come there in the Antariksha. Indra is there, some other Maheshwari is there, Brahma is there, and then they ask Rama, what are you doing? Why are you subjecting Sita to such ordeal? You are God and Sita is Lakshmi. They say, but when they say when Ravana has already been killed and Sita has passed through the ordeal, and then Rama says that Atmanam Manusam Manye Ramam Dasatat Majam. He says to those gods that I am the son of Dasratha, Rama. Atmanam Manusam, a man. Atmanam Manusam Manye Ramam Dasratha. What a beautiful line, what significant line, pregnant with meaning. Atmanam Manusam Manye Ramam Dasrathat Majam. I don't know, I know myself as a son of Dasratha, a man. So this Rama, this Rama is God. In the Valmiki Ramayana also, but very artistically it is been portrayed. That we have not been able to gauge. This Rama is different from other gods of our Hindu pantheon. This God Rama is very different from the other gods. Other gods, they don't allow you to forget that he is the God. If you forget, it is at your own peril. While this Rama is such a God that he forgets his divinity. And other people or other gods remind him that, oh, you are the God, why are you subjecting your consort with such ordeals? And then a beautiful verse, a beautiful stotra is there. The host of gods, they praise Rama. This stotra is never spoken or recited anywhere, I am sure. It is like Modi's guarantee, my guarantee. That this stotra is so beautiful, but we don't read Valmiki Ramayana. Valmiki Ramayana is forgotten. That is why this stotra is also lies forgotten, unsung, unwept. See, just I will.
I am reminded of one verse from Tarkikar, the commentator of Kavya Prakash. He says about art conceals art.
Ah, yes, yes.
That verse says, Nandri Payodara Yugam Asitaram Prakasha. Andhra Pradesh, they don't wear the blouse. So, Andhri Payodara Yugam
Yes, yes,
Asitaram Prakasha.
known to all that way. Yes, known to all. Yes, yes. But this I will recite some verses. This stotra Dogi when it's so beautiful stotra.
Arthogiram
Ah,
Pitara
yes.
Chakasche
Yes, yes, yes.
Saundarya Meti.
That may be there anyway. But see, I will. What Brahma says to Rama. This is in the Yuddha Kanda 6, 105, 12 to 28. This is the stotra. This stotra we should recite. Some verses I will recite. Don't be afraid. See, Brahma says. Aham te, at that time, these gods praise Rama in the stotra. Aham te hradayam Rama, Jihva Devi Saraswati. I am your heart. I am your heart, O Ram. Jihva Devi Saraswati. Your Jihva is Saraswati. Deva Gatresu Lomani. Nirmita Brahmana Prabhu. Nimeshaste abhavat ratri. When you close your eyes, it is ratri. Unmeshaste abhavat diva. When you open your eyes, it is day. See, so what is stotra is this? Samskaraha te abhavan Veda. Vedas are your samskaras. Whatever you samskar do to your body, they are Vedas. Na tadasti tvaya vina. Jagat sarvam shariram te. The whole world is your body. Sthairyam te vasudha talam. That firmness is the Prithvi, Vasudha, Earth. Agni kopaha. Your kopa is Agni. Prasadaste somaha. Your prasad is soma. So, this Rama is a forgetting divinity and other people have to remind him of this God. Other gods, they don't allow us to forget while he forgets. So, this is all things very artistically in the Valmiki Ramayana. We have done much research, but from the artistic point of view, it is such a great work that still we have not been able to understand the art of Valmiki's Ramayana, structural Ramayana. For example, I have quoted the first line in my abstract, Nate va kanuta kachit kavya atra bhavishyati. In this kavya, your word will not be falsified. That Brahma says to Valmiki. Now, what is the meaning of this verse? Nate vak anruta kachit kavya atra bhavishyati. Your word will not be falsified. And if you look at the Balkanda and the structure of the Valmiki Ramayana, just I will tell you that there is not a single verse where, see, love and Krishna, they start reciting the whole of the Ramayana taught by Valmiki. And the whole Ramayana goes on like this. The whole of the Ramayana gets completed. Do you know what is my point? I am very clumsily expressing, but see, the whole of the Valmiki Ramayana is recited by love and Kush, and nowhere in the text of the Valmiki Ramayana critical edition, nowhere it is said that now the recitation of love and Kush is over and now the things happen like this. Abandonment of Sita by Rama is also a part of the recitation of love and Kush. See what he has done. Nate vak anuta kachit kavyatra bhavishyati. It was Bhavabhuti, then he amplified the meaning of this line. This line. Nate, what is what Bhavabhuti said? Two kinds of Rishis are there. Rishinam Punaradhyanam Vacham Arthano Dhavati. Valmiki was the Adya Rishi. There Vacham Arthano Dhavati. There he Kavi utters and the things follow it. Love and Kush recite and the things take place afterwards. That is the meaning. It was Bhavabhuti, it was given to Bhavabhuti to amplify the meaning of this Nate vak anduta kachit kavyatra bis. What is the meaning of this word? Anduta, Ruta. Ruta is there. Ruta Shabda. Professor Velanka साहब इतना अच्छा रूट एंड सत्य का जोशी साहब इतना अच्छा विश्लेषण किया है इन सेवंथ मंडल एडिशन वेलंकर साहब रूट एंड सत्य व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन रूट एंड सत्य तो नते वाक अनुता काची तारी वाणी तेरी वाणी कभी झूठ इट विल नेवर बी फॉल्सिफाइड दैट मीन्स so this is the structure we have to examine. We have not yet examined this structure. We have not yet examined that there is not a single line, even in the popular Vulgate edition also there is not a single line that now Love and Kush have stopped singing the Ramayana and now the things go on taking place. It is not there even in the Vulgate Ramayana. And in the, of course, in the Samikshitavriti also is not there. Means it goes on taking place. Ram, Love, Kush has sung. So this is the art. So I am really, it's a great honor to me, I tell you. I am a very small man and you have honored me great. This is a great institution. And those days, I think this is not the time and place. to narrate my so many memories from my mind. When I was studying, we were we were studying in the clubhouse, and then from the clubhouse, when our classes were over, I would get out of class, and then I would start walking on the seashore, and then I would catch the train from Marine Lines, musing and ruminating the incidents taking place in my life. And so I'm greatly honored, Shakuntalaji and your team. You have greatly honored me. I'm very much honored. Thank you so much.
Verse form or prose form? Translation of critical edition. Is it in verse form or prose?
Which I spoke?
No,
Yes, prose. It is difficult to translate in the verse form. It is almost impossible. I have got no time also.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pandya, for that. We have to rush into the session one. We are already late. I request you all to be please seated. We will need 5-10 minutes to rearrange the seating arrangement. Till that, just have patience, and we'll start with session one immediately.